Hello everyone, this is Enea here, and in today's tutorial I'll teach you how to create this Japanese diamond pattern known in Japan as Hishi pattern. This is a traditional Japanese pattern which symbolizes prosperity and good fortune. The core element of this pattern is made of an elongated diamond with 3 smaller iterations of itself within it at equal distance intervals. As I explained in my previous tutorials, in order to create a pattern for a pattern fill in Affinity Designer, we first need to identify the tile that repeats itself throughout the composition. In this particular pattern, identify the following tile that I highlighted with the red rectangle. The key to identifying a tile in a pattern is that it must start at the top, where it ends at the bottom, and it must start on the left, where it ends on the right. So this is what we are going to seek to create. And in this particular pattern, we are going to create the pattern as white stroke on a transparent background, and we are going to create a background as we do the pattern fill. Alright, so to get started, we go to File, New, and we create a new composition. We give it A5, orientation to landscape, and document units to pixels, and we click on Create. And then we're going to start drawing the figure. We take the diamond tool, we set the fill to none, the stroke to black, and the stroke width to 3 points. So our diamond is going to have a 2:1 width to height aspect ratio. So we go ahead and we create a diamond, and we give it 800 in width and 400 in height. And then we're going to start duplicating it. So at each iteration of the diamond, we're going to remove 1/4 of the size of the initial diamond. So meaning at each iteration, we're going to remove 200 in width and 100 in height. Before we start duplicating, we set the reference point in the transform panel to the midpoint of the bottom extremity, because we are going to be rescaling in relation to that point. And then we press on Ctrl J to duplicate, and we set the width of the second diamond to 600 and the height to 300. So as I said, we remove 200 in width and 100 in height. And then we press on Ctrl J to duplicate again. We set the width of the third diamond to 400 and the height to 200. And then we press on Ctrl J one more time to duplicate the diamond, and we set the width to 200 and the height to 100. So now we have all the diamonds that we need to create the first group of diamonds. So we select all the diamonds and we press on Ctrl G to group them together. And then we press on Ctrl J to duplicate the group of diamonds, and we move it to the bottom right until its top extremity snaps to the right extremity of the first diamond. And then we press on Ctrl J to duplicate the diamond to the bottom right, and we move it to the left while holding Shift until its top extremity snaps to the left extremity of the first diamond. And then we select the 2 diamonds at the bottom, and we press on Ctrl J to duplicate them, and we move them upwards while holding Shift until they snap to the first diamond. So now we have all the diamonds that we need to create the tile. So the tile is going to be located from this point here to this point here. So we are going to take the rectangle tool to delineate it. So we set the stroke and the fill to none. And then we go ahead and we draw a rectangle from this point here to this point here. We select the rectangle and we make sure that it is positioned correctly. And then we're going to select all the groups of diamonds, and we're going to set their stroke to white. And then we're going to set the background to transparency. So we go to File, Document Setup, we go to Color, and we check Transparent Background. So as you can see now, we can see the stroke. And then we select the rectangle again, and we're going to export its content. So we go to File, Export, Document Type to PNG, and Area, Selection Area, to export only what's within the rectangle. And then we click on Export. So now that we have exported the tile, we're going to use it to create a pattern field. So we go to File, New. We create a new composition. We take the rectangle tool, set the fill and the stroke to none. And we create a rectangle all over the composition. And then we're going to create the background color for the rectangle. So I'll create it with the gradient tool. I select the rectangle, set the context to fill, type to linear, and then I create a gradient from the top left to the bottom right. I will set the top color to a shade of blue, and the second color to a darker shade of blue. And also I'll give it a bit of noise. And now we can bring in the tile. So we go here to Vector Float Fill tool. We go to Set Bitmap Fill. We select the tile. We click on the composition. And as you can see, this creates a pattern fill. And now we can adjust the handles to make the pattern bigger or smaller. Alright, so that was it for this tutorial. You learned how to create a Japanese diamond pattern in Affinity Designer. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and learned something from it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Affinity Designer tutorials in the future. And until then, see you next time, bye!